You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
All right, time to go to work.
Ready?
Yeah, I clocked in.
All right, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Couch Potatoes. I'm Alex
Morrison.
And you are joining us after recording the bonus episode that's going to be coming out in here in a couple days after this one. We just got back from watching episode 1, Phantom Menace, that had been re-released in theaters, so if you want us to talk about that, well, just wait a couple days, motherfucker. Quit being so fucking impatient. You already got a new episode. That's like when a band releases a new record and they're like, well, when's your next one? It's like, motherfucker, I'm going to be milking this for at least 5 years. Don't ask me that.
Yeah, we're not Def Leppard. We're not taking our sweet ass time. Because one guy lost a fucking arm.
Oh, cry me a river.
That's going to come up later.
Yes. But yeah, so if you want us to talk about that, well, then tune on in here in a few days and catch that bonus episode. But for the time being, enjoy this regular episode of the Couch Potatoes, would you, damn it? Not the Couch Potato, Couch Potatoes. There is a difference if you look on Spotify, apparently. We were first. That's the major difference. But no, as we mentioned last week, Chris still working your night shift and everything. Probably not the best idea to be chugging Mountain Dew alcoholic drinks or new ones that I am going to be getting here soon. Don't you think I ignored that, Dustin? The Arizona hard teas. Ooh,
yeah, what the fuck?
Those look really good. I like Arizona teas, so I kind of want to try them.
Do you know which flavor it is? Like, it's not the green tea, is it?
It's a multi-pack. So there's a bunch of flavors. I think there was a raspberry one. There might be a green tea one. Alcoholic green tea.
That one and the energy one are the only ones I drink.
The energy ones?
Yeah, the energy sweet teas.
Oh, yeah. the ones from fucking...
RX. The Arizona RX.
Yep.
They got a fruit, tastes like fresh juice.
But yeah, so that's why there has, again, not been a pre-show. We'll figure that out another time. We've got a couple things left in Dustin's little box of goodies that he sent us. So we'll definitely crack those open at a later date, because I do want to also get everyone back together to do another video day. Where we could do another round of making Dante pay for some food crimes and...
Or apparently shit he says about me on his show. From what I understand, he takes shots at me on his show.
That, I have been hearing that as well, that Dante, part of this fucking guy, has been taking quite a few little pot shots at you.
That's fine.
And I find that interesting
because... I've
been
called worse by better.
That's the motto of this show, baby. Yeah. But I just find it funny because he likes talking shit about, you and then being like, oh, he doesn't even listen. I bet motherfucker doesn't even listen to our show.
Probably not.
Exactly. So he's not even going to know we're talking shit on him right now.
Who knows?
Little bitch. But, ongoing with I was thinking about making this video content at some point, but it's good just podcast fodder for the next few weeks. In the quest of me up trading and upscaling my video game collection, I was able to sell off one of the Pokemon games on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
So with a little bit of leafy green spendy money in my back pocket, I was able to talk Chris into us kind of hopping around and hitting a few little retro game shops and collectible stores. And I think Chris is also caught the bug.
Well, I'm just buying stuff. Like I don't usually go out shopping. Like I don't do shopping at all, other than grocery shopping. So like when I get the urge to spend some fucking money, I'm going to spend some fucking money.
And it's like the once a year time where you're like, yep, I guess it's time to drop some dime and get some new shit.
But I'm also like decorating a room too. So
there's a purpose.
Yeah. So and once I get focused on that, that's something I'm going to stay on.
Yeah.
And because I recently downloaded Shudder and I have something I can play in the background while I do it. But no, the shops we hit up were fantastic.
Because my main goal is, again, as I mentioned last week, I'm trying to flip some of this money and get a new Game Boy Pocket and then slowly kind of collect those different colors. So we were going anywhere that just said game and comic, because between the two, one of us could find something to look at, and enjoy in there. And man, the first stop we took, that was going to be hard to beat because of how it's curated.
No, there is a great little hole in the wall joint in Morrison, North Carolina.
Crazy cool collectibles.
It's in Old Mooresville. If anybody gets a chance, please visit this guy's shop. Great guy, very kind. Crazy collection, ranging from like the brutally macabre to just
The Simpsons and Pokemon.
Yeah, to like the nerdy stuff, and it's so much fun to see that kind of thing, because he brought up that this is his collection, and he really wanted, and we talked to him for a while, but how he shares it and just created a store out of it, and very smart way to do it. And
how he intentionally was not trying to bring in the same stuff you're going to find everywhere else. He wanted to bring in more unique things, more specifically curated items.
I believe he said he didn't deal with any kind of dealers or franchises or anything. So everything he's got is very unique. A lot of fan-made stuff was in there. I bought 4 posters that are framed, which is something he does. Does old prints and frames them beautifully. The frames are fantastic. Does them 2 for $28 a piece if you buy more than 2. They're worth it. Trust me, they are worth it.
Really, really nice prints. Like, it's not blurry, pixelated, and cheap frames. Like, it's worth it.
There's also some other stuff in there. He sold a lot of nostalgia-based toys. Custom-made buttons, custom-made cards, custom-made Pokemon cards, which were hilarious.
The Thickymon cards or whatever they were.
Oh, yeah.
Thoughtimon.
The thick Pikachu that is just thunderclap. Or ass clap. But no,
thick Charizard.
But, like, they're very well made. That's the thing. When you get somebody who does, like, their own stuff, like, if you can get it real made, that's where it's at. Yeah. So I was able to buy a few gifts from some people. And
a really cool back section of like horror stuff, too.
Oh, yeah. So that's where the macabre stuff really kicks in. Please go check it out. Find out for yourself. There's some...
We don't want to spoil it. There's some cool stuff in there.
No, there's some beautiful gems in that place.
Autographs, one of a kind, rare things.
Hundreds of
awesome.
autographs. Yes. Autograph photos, autograph stuff. The sign you pointed out front, like the 12 commandments of the store, were hilarious.
And all of them were like just awesome ones. It's just like
you can come in and hang out. You don't have to spend money.
And it's just like, don't yell at your kids to not touch stuff. They're kids. I get it. I don't put stuff low where kids can break it. It's fine.
And like most of these places, all the really like niche and expensive stuff are behind glass anyway. So
yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing. It was just like, if this is your second time coming in here, be aware that you are my friend. There is no negotiating that.
But a lot of like handcrafted stuff, like coffee mugs and stuff with like really cool prints on them and stuff. Stuff you could probably get on Amazon for like a little bit of a markup, but like this is like in your hand right now,
and that's the joy of it. And that was something else too, is he had a lot of reasonably priced Pokemon cards, like between like $1 to $5, and I never had any rare cards as a kid. However, I would pick a fucking common out of one of the rare packs Mom got for me, and I would just be over the moon, because even if it wasn't rare, it was like, oh, I like the way this looks. Oh, I'm so happy to have this. I was just flipping through, seeing if I could just find one that just tickled that, oh, I thought this was the shit when I got it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any, and I'm kind of keeping an eye out on that. But yeah, so it's like, even his cards, all of his cards were just really good pricing.
Yeah, no different than Ray Franks' place out in Salisbury. There's very simple, pull and pick places, and we found a couple of those, pull and pick places.
The place after that was primarily the hobby store, wasn't it?
Yeah, near the Walgreens.
Yes.
We kind of ran into an issue. It was free comic book day. I forgot all about that when I came down.
And this place was Parker, Banner, Clark, and Kent, or something like that, or Kent.
It was Parker. It was Parker, Banner, Kent, and Wayne.
Yeah.
So it was a great comic and game shop.
Tons of D&D stuff.
Comics galore. A lot of nice comics on the wall that you can just pick from. And like you had pointed out when we were walking by, they had printed off the covers as showpieces, and you could just pick, point and pick.
Yeah. Definitely probably helps with theft.
And it was a lot of these places were getting busy. Like I will say,
that made me happy to see.
A lot of these guys, other than the guy in Mooresville, like a lot of them were really being popular. We were going around quite a bit though. We went from Mooresville to Cornelius to Huntersville, back down to Charlotte, and into the night at Mikey's. But we hit up a lot of niche joints, which I really appreciate, because we're going to be probably going next weekend. We'll probably talk about it again on the next show. Yeah. But
and since it'll be our second time, try to grab a little bit of video content for it too. Just kind of wanted to suss it out, see how people felt. And I feel like this guy would really be down for being like, hey, you mind if we take a quick video in here? We already talked good on you on the show.
Plus, I think we're going to be making another trip to a certain spot that we'll talk about next. But another way, we found this little Pokemon collectible place, which wasn't really the best, but I will say, it had the pick and pull collection a lot. It was, if you're a Pokemon fan, this may be the place for you. It's in Huntersville, in the Cornelius area. But no, it was a neat little shop. Yeah. I bought a few things from there. I bought things from everywhere.
Yeah. And that was the thing, is I could have done the same thing. I was just trying to hold out, because I know sometimes these pockets can be expensive in person. So I just wanted to make sure I was going to have enough to get exactly what I wanted if I saw it.
But yeah, we milled around in there for a little bit.
I gotta. Props to the guy. He had also really great pricing, because again, it was strictly a Pokemon store, so his card pricing was good. It was fair. There was a couple things I've heard a couple different YouTubers and collectors talk about. He was right on the money with the price. It wasn't anything fucking around. In the glass case, he had, as he claimed, a sealed Japanese Pokemon Red and Blue Game Boy games, one each. And I had already been looking at these on eBay, and loose, they go anywhere between $15 to $25 to get it with the box opened, anywhere between $60 to $100, and then fully sealed, I've seen some in there for $200 and $300. And the reason being, the Japanese cartridges are home base. They had a lot more stock of those cartridges than they did the domestic US ones.
You could go over there now into a retail shop and they'd probably have them.
Bingo. It's not the thing like it is over here. So to get those cartridges, it's not as high in demand. So knowing that, I'm thinking, okay, this guy probably works with the whole what you got to wiggle room on shit. Let me see if I can haggle with a motherfucker. I can at least get one. Hey man, I'm almost afraid to ask, but how much are those games in the case there? Oh yeah, those are sold in a pair, and they're going to be $800.
You kill me.
At that moment, I didn't want to look at anything else in the motherfucker store. I'm just like, you're kidding me. I'm getting in the car, showing Chris listings, being like, here's those exact two for $200.
It was kind of ridiculous. But other than that,
everything else in the store is priced good. I'm not talking shit on the store. It's a fantastic place. However, don't try to buy those games. Buy his cards. Buy his other collectibles. Don't do that one.
But yeah, right after that, we boogied on down to Video Game World.
Yes.
In Huntersville.
Yes, and that's where I actually made my first official purchase of the day.
What a place. We're going to that one next weekend for sure. It's not that far. Awesome place. I ended up buying quite a bit of things. I ended up buying a game I hadn't had since I was a child. It was a Super Nintendo game, NCAA Collegiate Basketball 1992, which is a one-of-a-kind game. But I got it in box, not mint collection, but it is good enough for me.
But the box looks really nice. Yeah. It's dinged up just enough. It's not too bad. The cartridge looked really nice. It didn't come with the manual or the little cardboard inside, but you know what?
Oh, I had the manual.
Oh, it did have the manual?
It just didn't have the cardboard insert.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, so just without the cardboard, it was a hell of a steal, dude.
Yeah, it was
especially
$10.
And the reason I know it was a hell of a steal, your reaction when you saw it.
Yeah.
Because we were both kind of just walking down that aisle, just kind of perusing, and you went, oh, shit, and you immediately snagged, and you were like, $10, dude, and you were, that's the first time in a while I've seen you legit oh, fuck, oh, this is awesome, that kind of thing. So that was, I got happiness seeing you stoked about seeing it.
And it's 2 stores in one.
Yes.
2 giant, massive stores put together. On one side is your arcade and Funkos galore.
Everyone you could think of nearly.
They're not really organized, but organized by price. So keep in mind that. So don't go up and ask them, hey, where's this one at? They don't even know.
No.
They just know price. They did have ones behind the glass that were worth some value. I was looking for a particular kind of AC/DC ones. And they had one. They had the back in black one, and I was just like, it's maybe next time.
Yeah.
But right beside it was the Hysteria Def Leppard one, and I pointed out to you, I'm like, hey, I want you to look at that. The drummer Funko is missing an arm.
Gee, I wonder why.
They couldn't even be gracious enough to give the motherfucker an arm. Even though Hysteria is the one where he has one arm, and all the ones after that. Pyromania, he had 2 fucking hands. You could have just put Pyromania in the goddamn box. Like, I'm not a big Def Leppard fan, but that song kicks ass. And he had 2 goddamn arms, guys. Fuck.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, I agree. No, and I wanted to, as I was mentioning, I made my first purchases. One, they had these really cool, they're kind of dual purpose. It fits both Nintendo 64 and NES cartridges. They kind of remind me of the Blockbuster hard cases. If you'd rent something from there, usually they pop one in the case.
Yeah.
So they kind of reminded me of that. $1 each. Fuck yes, I'm grabbing one. And they also had this, I'd never seen it before, and it's kind of what really drove me to it. It is a wireless receiver for your NES that also works as a forward controller port. You plug in this receiver to the front of the NES. That receiver communicates with your home base dock that you can sit next to you that's battery controlled, and you've got like a turbo button, multiple things. For $12, I'm never going to properly use that thing. But like after I turn it on, test it, and fuck with it for a little bit, that's just going to be awesome to have as just part of the collection. And it's just really weird.
Yeah,
I'd never seen it before.
The NES Satellite.
Yes, the NES Satellite. So that was my little cool pickup on that. Is if I had not seen that, I would have not picked it up.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Or if I had seen it online, I wouldn't have picked it up. And that kind of leads to what you were saying about with crazy cool collectibles with like the coffee mugs and shit like that. Sure, you could maybe find those mugs on Amazon, but seeing it in person, being able to immediately grab it, pay for it, and it's in your hand. I had the same situation with that. If I saw it online, even cheaper than what I got it for, I probably still wouldn't buy it, but it was right there and a good price, and it intrigued me. Congratulations, you made a sale. You made a sale.
No, it was fantastic. There was quite a few other things. I bought a couple Funkos from there. I bought a Sopranos Funko, which are kind of hard to find nowadays.
Immediately opened that bitch up.
Oh yeah, played with it a little bit. I bought some like stuff they had. I bought over the counter shelf shit.
Yeah.
So I bought a little Fallout Wanderer because Fallout the series is on right now. It's fantastic. And I bought a Bowser. That's what I bought from him. And I left out of there spending like $40. And it was a good deal. I spent more at the horror place. I spent over $100, I think.
they had a lot more things to your liking there.
Yeah, but I had a gift card that I was burning a hole in my pocket that I never used. But no, they had all that. The cool thing about the video game world is they had like really niche food there too.
Yes.
All the Thailand and Korean and Chinese and Japanese food. The drinks. I will say this, out of all the places we went to, the lack of the Game Boys was surprising.
Yeah, I was going to lead into that, man. So we pull up to Video Game World, and as soon as we open the door, almost in unison, we looked at each other and went, oh, because it's like you are immediately greeted with Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, like all this retro shit as soon as you hit the door, and you're like, oh, this is going to be the Mecca. Oh, I'm not even going to be able to pick what to get from here. Oh my God. So like we are oohing and ahhing over all the NES and Super Nintendo stuff, oohing and ahhing over all the PlayStation shit. Oh, there's all the fucking DS games. Oh wow, Switch games are at a good price. Wow, this place is fucking awesome.
Gundams. They had the Gundam sets fucking less than 100 each. And
yes.
I'm not even into Gundams, but like I would buy one for like $10, $20 and that would fit on a shelf or something.
Yes. So it's like, again, the entire time we're just like, wow, wow, wow. And we're coming down. It's like, oh, these are Switch games. Oh, these are 3DS games. We're getting closer. Oh, I see advanced. Oh, color games. Oh, hold on. No. Let me look at the games first. I just want to look at the games. And I'm like trying to stay tunnel vision. And then all of a sudden, like the voice of God echoing down the aisle. Man, they don't have any Game Boys. And I turn to Chris. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, they only have even 2 DSs. And I get down there. They had 1 Game Boy Advance and 2 DSs. And I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. And you're like, they don't even have an SP.
Yeah. Like it's I think it's where eBay kind of thrives a little bit.
Yeah, and I even asked the guy, I was like, how often do you guys get Game Boys in the system? He's like, maybe like once every other month. He's like, it's kind of rare. It's like, damn, okay, I feel you. It's like, again, it's nothing on them. They can only sell what gets brought in. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, no one's been bringing in Game Boys? What the fuck?
And I will say, they had the new consoles right there on the other side. They had a PlayStation 5 there. They had the new Xbox.
And all great prices on everything.
Yeah, so
I was just personally bummed out that the one singular thing I was looking for I couldn't find.
Yeah,
but after I stepped away from that, dude, all the prices were really reasonable.
Yeah,
really
so guys, if you're ever in Huntersville, Video Game World, across from Discovery Place, fantastic place.
I think they have another location as well.
They have 4.
Yeah.
They have one in Concord, one in here in Charlotte. I forget what the other ones. I gave the card
Cornelius,
to you.
maybe.
No, Cornelius is right there.
Okay.
So,
but they are kind of there are 2 locations that are kind of, either way, if you're in the North Carolina area, find you one. Fucking go, man. We high praise from us.
High praise.
And then, weirdly enough, the last place we stopped at is just fuck it. It's kind of on the way back anyway. We might as well.
And we were tired. And we went to a place called The Grid, which is sponsored by the Goodwill.
Yes.
Where they take anything you give them electronic, and that's where the electronics is.
Yeah. And so we even kind of roll, because you were like, man, they had some stuff at the old location.
On Tryon Street, it was massive. And this was the place to go.
And you're like, so I don't know about the new one. He's like, but let's just roll over there anyway. Might as well check it out.
Yeah.
Roll in. Yeah, as soon as we hit the door, you're like, yeah, this is a bit of a downgrade. But tell me why they had more Nintendo 64 controllers there, more retro game supplies, and actual fucking Game Boys. What the fuck? Horrible selection on everything else. But for somehow, they had a Game Boy Color. Now, granted, I wasn't looking for color, so I still didn't get anything. But I still gave them a check mark. So I'm just like, well, at least they have the systems.
And capture cards.
And capture cards. Oh my god, that's
an odyssey unto itself.
Yes. So when we were trying to start up doing the Fistful of Quarter episodes, we needed an HDMI splitter. That's all we fucking needed. That way I could put one onto the computer, and then we could still mirror it to the TV and without any lag, and just play like normal. We have one. It works great. I ordered it off Amazon because we went to Target, fucking Walmart, and Best Buy. None of them fucking had it.
Yep, none of them.
By the time we're finishing up in Best Buy, I order it on Amazon, and it's at my house before we leave to go to Mikey's that evening to record those Street Fighter episodes you guys just watched. Walk into this goddamn Goodwill, rows of them, and I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. You're shitting me right now. Of all
you could probably get you a new TV from there. They had the big ones for like $40.
Yeah, really. So just a little recap on our running around recollecting things.
And we're already kind of starting to get a plan together for next weekend. I think we'll have Miss Phillips with us.
Yes, that's going to be a lot of fun, especially because she's going to be looking for stuff that neither one of us would be looking for. So
I found some stuff at the Video Game World. I've sent her a picture. She's like, "Oh my fucking god!"
Yeah. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun having her tagging along and sharing the joy of finding all the cool little.
There is
nerdy
another
shit.
place. In Lincolnton, that's fantastic, which I have been to. They have
comics or games
and toys.
Ooh.
And they had a large N64 collection last time I remember.
See, now I don't know what to fucking do, because after getting so disgruntled with that, I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to buy one on eBay. Fuck it. Because they have a new thing where if you add an item to your favorites list, if the seller's any good, he'll send you an offer in a few days at a discount. So I've added like 5 different Game Boy Pockets to my watch list and like waiting for offers to come in. I don't know what to do now. I don't know if I need to take a really good offer on eBay and just like get it in, and then like run the risk of like next weekend we run out, and then it's like, there it is. And it's in better condition for only $10 more than I paid online.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff, go out and collect, and you just add it to your own collection.
That's right. And the joy about it too is we're not going around trying to find all these expensive things. The things that we found a lot of joy in were like $10, $15. Those pops you bought, none of them were crazy expensive. The little NES thing I bought wasn't in $1 game boxes. I mean, we're spending bukus of money, so find the thing that just like makes you happy, and just fingers fucking crossed you didn't get priced out of it like the fucking Pokemon games.
Yeah, everything I bought is probably going on a shelf, and I'm just going to play with it one day.
Well, play with it to your heart's content, Chris.
Well, we did end the night.
Oh, yeah.
We did end the night.
Let's talk about that.
In a rousing game of Monopoly with Courtney and Mikey Black.
And I had to restrain both you and Courtney from slashing each other's throats with the kitchen knives.
Yeah. Yeah, she's competitive just like I am.
Oh, yeah.
It's healthy. And it's a healthy competitiveness.
What was great, she said something last night. I heard it because...
I think she called me a bitch.
Well, the way it rolled was, it was like, it's Courtney, me, Chris, Mikey, Courtney, circle like that. So I heard her. Chris didn't, because he's across from the table. So I start responding. I'm like, oh. And Chris like, what? And I was like, oh, noise. I was like, you heard her. He's like, no, I really didn't hear. What did she say? What did she say? And I was kind of turning to Courtney like, you're going to have to say it again. And she shut the fuck up and just moved on. Literally today, as we're on our way out to see the movie, Chris brought it back up again. He goes, I still don't know what she said at the very beginning of the game. I was like, oh, she called you a bitch in some way, shape, or form.
That's fine. If anybody knows about my competitiveness of board games, they know.
Oh, I witnessed your competitiveness in real life. Now, granted, I do admit you have been working like a madman. You are tired.
Yeah.
However, I know you. If you are winning, you're not going to stop.
No.
You're not going to give up.
No. If you're winning, stay on top.
Uh-huh.
Kill.
Who called the game last night?
I called the game last night. I did like, I will say this. There's a strategy in the game that I've only seen work once. If you're on like kind of a middling level in the game. I had about 6 properties. The game was getting to that point where people were starting getting too poor to play.
Yeah.
And that's how the name of the game Monopoly works. Kill them with poverty. So I decided a strategy, which I had seen work once, where the game is you liquefy all your assets and play from that. And it's basically like starting over, but now you have a large influx of cash. So now you're going around the board and really fucking up the game for everybody, because now there's a cash heavy person. This is why free parking, when you do the house rule on free parking, the game lasts so fucking long, because now there's another influx of cash from nowhere forcing the game to go on.
Right.
Because the object of the game is for everyone to go poor except for you.
Mm-hmm. Monopoly.
Yeah, Monopoly. The capitalism game for everyone. But so I did it for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to see what would happen. And one, I wanted to end the game.
Because you weren't winning.
I wasn't winning. No, I was going to lose. I'll tell you that straight up. I was probably going to be the first one to go out.
Oh, I know. But I just found it funny, though, with all the vibrato. And, like, even Chris in the fucking group chat.
Oh, Christy tells a story about how I went toe-to-toe with her sister. And how we were going to come to blows. Because she said I was cheating.
So it's like the entire time, Chris is like, oh, you're fucking scared. Call the platform. You want it on Switch? You want tabletop? Call the platform. Let's go. It's just all this cash.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Me and Courtney talk about. Like, if we're going to do so, we're going to play tabletop fucking Monopoly.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to play it till it's over. The problem is, we both work and we're fucking adults. We're goddamn adults. And
even Mikey was like, I'm tired, guys.
Because I kept looking over to Mikey. I'm like, dude, you working tomorrow morning, man. I'm not. I go to work at night, motherfucker. So
I can sleep all day if I had to.
This is my only night off. So, but no, so we're playing the game, and I got to the point where I do this thing, and it's a 1 in 10,000 thing I do. I will look you dead in the eyes and call the roll. And I did it 5 goddamn times last night, and y'all's faces were some of the worst, like, Jesus goddamn Christ.
Courtney was so done with your ass when you were doing, because you were staring her deep in her soul. 5.
Hey, what do I need? I need a 5, a 7, or a 10 to get out of Courtney's little death row over here. Yahtzee!
Because of course Mikey and Courtney are playing on like a half-ass team.
Well, they're together.
Yeah. And it's like, and of course Chris and I are playing, every man for himself. But every time Chris would ask my opinion, because they were setting up, like you said, death row with all the fucking hotels and shit. So you're like shaking the dice and everything, and you're like, all right, Mikey, what do I need to roll? And he's like, I want you to roll a 3 or a 5. And Courtney's like, yeah, 3 and 5. I like those. And I'm looking at him like, buddy, you need a 4. You need a 4 real bad.
I will say this. What was kicking our whole asses
my God,
all night long was luxury tax.
Fuck luxury tax,
and income tax was kicking us in the fucking teeth. All of us were just like, did you roll another goddamn 6?
It turned into, at first, like the first few times it happens, like, ha ha, get fucked, motherfucker, ha 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 ha.
I think the highest one we rolled was jail, luxury tax, Ventnor, and North Carolina. And we were just hitting those goddamn properties hard. And then it's just like, how many times do we all got to go to fucking jail?
And we kept getting lucky in Kentucky, baby.
Yeah. Woo! But no, so we had a great game. We had a great soundtrack thanks to Mikey Black.
Oh, yeah.
And
Courtney.
Just clicking one song and just destroying the whole list.
My favorite bit was just hearing them argue over the playlist. That was more fun than the music.
And the music lined up.
It did.
To our terrible fucking rolls.
Oh, dude, that's what
I got 5 on it. Bam. Listen to fucking Killer Mike, Run the Jewels, Spice One shit, and just hardcore rap.
Oh,
while we're all getting our fucking shit kicked in by this goddamn board game. But no, it was a fun time.
It was great.
A great way to cap off the night too.
It really was. And that's a great way to cap off us just chit-chatting here. Let's go ahead and move on over to the news segment, because we do have a couple little news things to talk about. And one of those things, more of a conversational piece, Chris Hemsworth recently came out saying that the only movie he kind of regrets making right now is Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, he said it was... I think he got that like comedic bug in him, and he
said he got lost in the sauce in so many words.
Yeah, and that's fine. That happens, and you know what? It's still a good movie.
Yeah,
it doesn't take away from the movie to me.
No, not at all.
He just regrets doing that. But you know what's funny? He should regret other movies he's been in.
Yeah,
that are terrible. But the Marvel movies are not ones he should really regret. He took a chance, and it paid off into a point. Keep in mind, he did those movies with his kids.
Yeah.
And that's something he could say later on, like, I did a movie with my kids and it was fun. Both kids, and I think they're hilarious. The kids of the movie are hilarious. His daughter's fucking hilarious at the end, just holding a hammer and shit. But no, it was a fun movie. I get what he's coming from though. Like it takes away from the seriousness of the main plot.
Yeah, very
hard. It's not. The comedic aspect really worked with Ragnarok. For Love and Thunder, not so much.
Yeah.
But
honestly,
to me, it was a fantastic movie.
I still think Bro Thor was the first major crack.
Oh, Fat Thor.
Yeah.
I like Fat Thor. I like Fat Thor because he's at that point in his life where he's just like, fuck. Because we don't get that in superhero movies a lot, the down and out.
Well, you do with Peter.
Yeah, but that's Peter fucking Parker. That motherfucker gets a D on a paper, he wants to kill himself.
Oh my God, no. He is more resilient.
Tobey Maguire is the saddest sack one I've ever seen too. Like even Andrew Garfield.
Oh, Andrew Garfield couldn't fucking stop crying, bro.
That's fine, because his life was terrible.
Yeah.
Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire, though, could have just got his fucking shit together if he told that redhead to suck a dick and leave. Like that's all. That's what ruined his. Kristen Dunst ruined his goddamn life because he had that
my money.
He had that nice blonde girl the whole time. He could have been fucking.
That is true. I like Gwen better.
No, not even Gwen. The landlord's daughter.
Yeah.
She's like, "Are you okay? I brought you some soup." I'm like, "You should have married her right there on the fucking spot."
A lady that brings you soup without asking?
Yeah, like she's so nice. She's geeky as fuck, but she looked nice.
Hey, the geeky ones are fun.
But no, it's the Love and Thunder one. like I said, it was fun. It had Dio in the soundtrack. How you gonna hate? How you gonna hate on Dio? You goddamn cocksuckers.
Well, speaking of not hating on shit, literally yesterday we finally got a new trailer for The Boys season 4.
Yeah, so we get Jeffrey Dean Morgan as a cameo. He will be playing the rich man, the Iron Man of the series. If anybody's read The Boys, they know that this character is very debaucherous, who likes to hang out with Soups, who creates an Iron Man type suit. But in this one, The Boys, the television show, has taken a different turn than the comics, where rightfully they should.
Kind of Walking Dead style.
Yeah, so they've done a great deal of work to do this. Jeffrey Dean Morgan also worked with Eric Kripke a lot, the guy who makes The Boys on Supernatural. Same with Jensen Ackles, who played Soldier Boy. And this will turn probably a little bit more closer to V. The spin-off show.
I never watched that.
Yeah. So
I heard mixed things about it.
It gets
honestly.
rough. There's some rough parts in it. But
I just meant like just storytelling, which is kind of iffy.
It's okay, but like it is still The Boys, But it's like the college of boys, But we're all going to get like a darker butcher kind of character. I think this is going to be the end game part of the story of The Boys. They're getting really close to how The Boys ended. I think maybe one more season after this will really,
the aftermath season, kinda.
Yeah. So like. Eric Kripke, did Supernatural, and he did such a great job with that. However, it got out of hand when the studios made him do more seasons of the show, which kind of ruins the show. There's a stopping point, guys. And I think he learned his lessons from that. So I think 4 seasons, maybe a movie at some point would be fun. But no, this looks like a really good season coming up. It's going to be very intense, cathartic. We're going to see a lot, some new characters that aren't in the book. We're going to see some returns of some other ones. One of the characters I saw was the preacher who stretches. They're bringing him back, and it looks like he gets his shit kicked in.
Yes.
A new version of basically Wonder Woman, who uses a gun.
Wonder Woman.
But yeah, it looks really fun, and it's really that black and white. Homelander's done. All right, guys, we're not going to be celebrities, and we're not going to be fucking idols to be worshipped. We're going to be wrathful gods, because that's what we are. They introduce in the trailer a possible in-game against Soups.
It's which like is a virus that can kill the Soups.
Yeah, which is kind of works with the comic book. If anybody's ever read that, Butcher creates a device that targets Soups and kills them only.
Didn't he kind of have something similar to that in one of the previous seasons?
I'm not sure. In the comic, that's what he uses basically to kind of neutralize everybody. But there's, I think what we're going to see is maybe one of the core group get killed off. So I'm kind of curious.
You thinking that might be?
Maybe MM. I think MM is going to get killed off as just like a sacrifice.
I could see that.
Because the book, spoiler alert, he kills all of them except for Huey. He killed all of the characters. He killed all his allies in the book. And Black Noir isn't Black Noir in the show as he is in the book, so, which is fine. They really did a great job with Black Noir. I think there's going to be a full tilt with him. I think after what happened at the end of season 2 with Soldier Boy, I think he's going to be booting rallying with fucking Homelander and kind of nailing some shit down.
Except you, Black Boy. You're beautiful.
You're doing perfect. You're beautiful.
Still love that line.
Somebody redubbed it with Leslie Knope from fucking Parks and Rec. She's like, "You're a beautiful sunfish, and I love you. You're a bright, beautiful sunfish, and you're perfect, and I love you."
And when we did see Star Wars earlier today, we got to see some trailers, and The Lost Robot, a new movie
The Wild Robot.
The Wild Robot, yes. A new movie from DreamWorks. That looks really, really good.
Yeah, it looks like a nature version of WALL-E.
And the reason I like it is, at first, it seemed like it was bad CGI. I was just like, what the fuck indie film is this? They kind of took inspiration from Into the Spider-Verse, and it's a very stylized CGI. It almost seems like one of those watercolor children's books.
Yeah, it looks really good. And what's crazy is we're getting that and not a Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah, I'll watch it.
I think there's still a God.
Yeah.
I think.
But no, for movie-wise, that's up there. It looks really fantastic. one of the probably better previews I've seen in a while.
Then we saw Despicable Me 4.
Yeah, and we still don't have a Batman movie.
Still no Batman Beyond.
That's fine.
Okay,
That's
sure.
fine.
There is a God, right, Chris?
I will say this: if anybody gets Shudder, fantastic new movie on that one, Late Night with the Devil. I recommend that for anybody. It's a fun horror flick. If you like that weird old Johnny Carson type style, it looks like that, but it's about a guy just trying to save his late night show in the ratings, and he decides to bring on someone a little special, a con man, a young girl who's possessed by the devil, and her handler, and it all goes tits up. And
of course it does.
But it's filmed like a documentary too, like this happened, and so it is really well done. It's I heard about it through LPN, and I was just like, the trailer looks kind of cool. The guy who plays the main character is in the movie we're talking about today. But yeah, check that out, guys. While we were playing Monopoly, I was talking with Cap about it. He's like, dude, did you see this fucking movie? I'm just like, fuck yeah, I did.
You know the fuck I did.
Because me and Cap will
Damn right, boy.
me and Cap will talk about some fucking movies sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And that high praise, I will say. Like, I know it doesn't look good. Like, some people like stylized and stuff. It's not a big budget movie. Check it out.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
And a little tease for the future. Chris literally saw me do it yesterday. We have a new movie commentary that's going to be coming in the mail. I could have easily downloaded it for free, but no, I'm not. I spent cold, hard money on it, mainly because they offered a VHS version, and I'm like, well, fuck it. If we're watching the movie, let's watch it on fucking VHS if it's an option.
I hope it has previews.
That would be cool.
That would be funny.
That would be
because
awesome.
There's a whole website now devoted to movies that had previews, and if you click on the movie, it'll show you the previews that were on the VHS. Mm-hmm. Because I had one. It showed up on Instagram or like TikTok or whatever, and it was, did y'all have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze VHS? And like, yeah, we all did. And like, do y'all remember the previews? Like, those movies don't exist. And like, yeah, what were the fucking previews? And it was just like, holy shit, these movies are no-name actors, no-name fucking flicks. And I'm just like, these were real movies. God damn it. And it was one of those previews you saw as a kid and you never watched the movie. So you're just like, in the back of your brain, it's like,
that never existed.
I should have watched that movie. Because I've seen trailers for like documentaries and stuff I can't name. And I'm like, man, that documentary probably was really good. Mm-hmm. And like, because there were some horrific documentaries I saw previews for. I'm just like, I should have watched them.
Well, I honestly can't. I felt like I said there was one more piece of news before I hit record, but now I can't remember it.
There is some Nintendo news about the new Switch. They've announced.
Do tell.
Nintendo is planning on releasing 7 games that'll be compatible with the Switch and whatever next console will be. They've announced that these will be compatible with their next console when it arrives. So. We maybe get a preview for the new console soon, before Christmas.
That would be fucking awesome, man. I've been looking forward to whatever the hell Nintendo's about to release, and then they just do Nintendo Online for phones and try to kill Delta. Yeah. But enough jibber jabber from us.
Jibber jabber on.
We got to be a little more serious, Chris.
I guess.
It's time for the main topic.
I'm Batman.
Batman!
I'm Batman.
Oh man, we are gonna be going into The Dark Knight. And I mean, honestly, everyone points to this as their favorite.
Yeah, I remember when this came out. I was working at a grocery store at the time, and 2 of my managers had called out. It took like a day so they could go to the theater and watch it opening night. And it was very popular when I was younger. The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight. And
I know people know this movie so well, so of course we're going to go through like some of our favorite scenes and moments and stuff. One of the things I do want to talk about, though, in relation to this movie is the marketing campaign that led up to it.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
The marketing campaign on this, to me, at the time, felt groundbreaking. I had never experienced such... I guess the proper phrasing would be synergy among brands and different stuff. But however, I remember like Papa John's had like this little hidden thing on their website where if you clicked it, all of a sudden like the Joker would like take over your computer and like give you this like code, and it like all led up to like Comic-Con, that like if you put the code together it was a URL and you could get like your first look at the trailer. And it's just like, that was so cool and creative because it used clips that you saw later on in the movie of Joker taunting the police, and they were repurposing clips of that to tease you. And it's just, it was, I loved the marketing campaign.
Yeah, it was kind of groundbreaking for its time. The way it looks, like on the advertisements, were really cool.
Because the first one kind of had that reddish orange hue to it. This one was a lot more blue and black.
Yeah, and the bright whites and stuff like that. And then they kind of revamped the music, the doom 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 doom, and so it kind of made it more intense. They did a lot of like Easter egg shots when it came to the trailer. So you see a guy on the side of the road with a fucking Joker mask, but it's the original Joker mask from like the Adam West or Black and White Batman. So you see a lot of that kind of stuff, and they're like, holy shit, they're really building this fuck up. And a lot of stuff in the, I think they filmed it in Chicago, where they were really fucking shit up. Like a Michael Bay film.
Christopher Nolan was just like, I got the money, blow it up.
Yeah, and he reluctantly did this movie too. This is the one that he wasn't planning on doing, just the one, and they called him back, and he said, "Oh, this will be a nice little end piece to it," and then they made him make it a third one.
God damn it! I don't want to do this again.
But yeah, this one has Christian Bale. They replaced Rachel, the main character.
That was a very odd choice.
With Maggie Gyllenhaal. I believe the other girl was kind of busy.
Yeah.
Michael Caine returns as Alfred. We get Morgan Freeman back as Lucius Fox. We get quite a few mainstay characters come back. Gary Oldman as Gordon, which is always fantastic. But Heath Ledger returning as coming on to the scene as Joker. Really, really kind of threw everybody for a loop because they didn't think he would have been able to do it. This is kind of before the whole, the Joker is an iconic character. No, this was done by Jack Nicholson one goddamn time. Nobody was up their own ass about somebody playing this character, which I think is ridiculous. Okay, it's a fucking job, guys. A lot of people can play a character.
Well, the Batman series has been rife with people not liking the casting choice. People didn't like Michael Keaton. They didn't like his casting before they saw the movie. They didn't like Heath Ledger. They didn't like Robert Pattinson. They didn't like Ben Affleck. It's like every time there's a Batman movie, there's going to be some casting that everyone's like, nah.
And the guy I mentioned that was in Late Night with the Devil, David Desmarchand, he did an interview and he was talking about like, hey, what was it like seeing Heath Ledger? He's like, the dude was fantastic. And he had no qualms about being the Joker. He didn't feel like he said he didn't feel like it was overbearing. He didn't care about the criticisms. He's like, I'm just going to do my best. And that's what he did. Yeah. And he did a fantastic job. Higher echelon acting. He got into the role, not like crazy Jared Leto, but like he did the role, and it may have contributed to him ending his life. That's here nor there. But, regardless, he did a fantastic job.
Amazing job. And the thing is I do kind of subscribe to, and not to get too touchy on this kind of stuff, but it's like I do think that's a bit urban legend, because I remember hearing, actually I think from the Ledger family, that there were things that happened after the movie that were not connected to the film that had a much larger role.
Oh, there's always something more.
Because he had a personal diary he kept around that time, and the family had access to the diary after his passing. And from everything that, at least from what I understand, and I can be wrong, but from what I remember is the family reviewed the diaries and went, no, you guys can finally start sleeping a little better. He was okay during this. This happened way after the fact. You guys were in the back mirror when this situation happened. What's the situation? I'm not telling you, but rest assured, guys, look, it wasn't Batman that killed him. It's okay.
Yeah. But another thing, we get Gary Roberts returning as Falcone. lot of the mainstay guys came back for this one, and that's good. You know, it's continuity. It really brings the whole thing back together.
And great opener.
Oh god, the fucking bank robbery scene is fantastic. The main guy in the bank, fantastic TV actor. He's one of those guys you can never name,
but you just see him.
You see him, and you're just like, hey, that's the guy from like Lost, or that's the guy from Crash. And I love his scene because he goes ape shit immediately. This is a mob bank, motherfucker. And he pulls out a fucking shotgun and starts pumping round after round. But we get this kind of loop of these guys in clowns masks, and it's just like, hey, we're in. Good. Pop. And he gets killed. And he comes down the lane. He's like, hey, did you take care of the alarm guy? Yeah, I took one less share, right? And bow, kills that guy. And then the bank, and the guy's like, oh man, you know, we're in the vault, blah blah blah. Hey, what do you mean less shares? Pop, got another. Yeah. And then we come to the Joker and the other guy, and he points the gun at Joker. He's like, I bet you told you to kill me, huh? He's like, no, I killed the bus driver. And it's a surprise, you know.
He's like, the bus driver. Bam!
But the way he moves, he slides and glides, and it's just like, oh, he's corralling you, motherfucker. Because he gets the other guy shot. He's like, how many shots was that? Was that 5 or 6? It was 6. He sends up, bow, takes one to the chest. He's like, where did you learn to count? And he's like, who gives a shit?
He's like, whoops.
But he does this thing where he sticks a fucking gas grenade in the dude's mouth, and then he takes his face off, and he's like, that is terrifying. Because he's not fucking around. And it's all just a chaos thing. And it really played it up real well. But yeah, like you said, solid opener.
Yes.
For a superhero movie and a villain, yeah.
And it's, correct me if I'm wrong, because you definitely have seen way more movies than I have. Is this the first superhero movie to really open with the villain's narrative? Because it happens again with Bane following. But up to that point, have we had a comic book movie that focused on the villain before we even see the hero?
There's one DC Swamp Thing.
That would have been after, wouldn't it?
No, Swamp. I'm talking about the old Swamp
Thing.
Oh, gotcha. With the girl from Charlie's Angels, Adrienne Barbeau. Yeah. So the main guy, he's the main villain. It was he kills the hero, but it's the setup of the hero. So other than like Darkman and like Swamp Thing, or just like the really niche superhero movies, it's probably one of the first big ones where we focus on the villain doing his nasty shit. I
just think that was just a really nice contrast comparison open, because I mean all the Spider-Man movies kick off with a Peter Spidey moment.
Yeah, we've talked about the Robert Pattinson Batman, how the city, the landscape as a character. In the Christopher Nolan ones, this happens in broad daylight. So Batman's not going to come out, which is, kind of weird. But in Gotham, feels like he's robbing a different city. So it kind of throws you off a little bit, because this is middle of the fucking day, and it's a heist movie technically in the beginning.
Yeah.
But Batman shows up, and we find out that, oh fuck, we radiated the bills, and he knew what to look for, so we can't really trace this. And they're worried about some bigger fish. Anyway, they're looking like the Falcones, the gang members, the mob bosses who really run the crime. And if we can get those guys, we can stop crime in Gotham, which is the goal for Batman.
And you get your Scarecrow cameo.
Yeah. So we build up later on, and there's a giant fight in a parking garage where one mob boss decides to meet Scarecrow to buy drugs, and he's having a problem with the drugs that Scarecrow made. He's like, I said it will take you some places. I didn't say where. And it's like he's a shitty drug dealer by the beginning of this movie. And we actually kind of see the Batman fight a different way. He's a little bit more armored out. He's fought enough in Gotham to kind of plan ahead. He has that little device on his arm that lets him bend the barrel of a gun. But we also see vigilantes. But going into the advertising of it, the cameo for one of the guys dressed as Batman was a guy who was kidnapped by the fucking studio to be in the movie.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and so that was when you know the story behind it, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And having a fan be in the thing is really cool, even if it's a celebrity fan. Sometimes,
whatever. It's still a fan.
Yeah. So,
sorry, I have money and fame. I'm also a fan.
Yeah, but like if I was to see Kevin Smith in like a Superman movie, like just in passing, I think that'd be like Jay and Silent Bob in the corner or something.
Oh yeah,
that'd be fucking hilarious.
Whoa! Look at that guy fly.
This weed's hitting too
Fly,
hard.
Soups, fly.
Yeah, he's fine. He just looks at him, fucking stoner piece of shit, spits on him and kills him. Bam! Killed by Superman's spit. I would love to see them in The Boys. Like a variation of them in The Boys, just for no reason at all. But yeah, so they got to do this whole, like, Batman's still at it. That's the whole point of it. Batman's still at it. His villains, his main villain from the first one, is still running around. So there is a kind of a weird fuck up going on.
Yeah.
But we're introduced to Harvey Dent, played by Aaron Eckhart. Fantastic actor.
Yes.
One of the best actors out there. He everything he's in is not bad. His best movie is Thank You for Smoking. I don't know if you've ever heard of that movie.
I think so.
Where he played a tobacco lobbyist. It is him as the devil, pretty much, and he's pushing big tobacco hard till the end of the movie, and it's fucking hilarious because the movie starts with a death counter, and it's just like Genghis Khan, 2 million, fucking Kublai Khan, 6 million, Adolf Hitler, 12 million, and it shows a cigarette, and it's just a counter. He's like, he literally is on a baseball field and hits a fucking home run, and it's just like, sweet Richmond, Virginia. It's like, God damn, this guy's the villain. But no, he plays Harvey Dent in Two-Face.
Yeah.
But the only time we've ever had Harvey Dent in a movie was in Batman Returns with Michael Keaton, which the plan was to turn him into Two-Face later on. But now this one, he's going after the Falcons, and he's tough. And that's what I really loved about him in this movie. So we get that court scene.
No bullshit.
Yeah. We get the court scene in the beginning, and we find out that Gordon is running a tight ship of some special cops. Some of them are not only up and up, but that's the kind of people Gordon works with, because he needs tough cops.
Right.
And Harvey Dent doesn't like that. He's like, he's the white knight pretty much. This needs to be done this way so everything looks good. And he's having that conversation on the jury or with the jury, and the guy's like,
it was for the Joe Till trial again, wasn't it?
No, it was for Falcone.
Oh, that's right.
Gary Roberts,
yeah.
Gary Roberts is sitting there, who plays a fantastic villain. Says the guy on the dais says, "Oh, Falcone? Nah, he's a patsy. It was all me." And he turns around and he's like, "But you said in this testimony that Falcone sold guns, blah 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 blah." And he's like, "No, it was me." And he turns his back on him, and the guy pulls a gun.
Yep.
And Harvey Dent smashes that shit. And he's like, "If you're going to kill a public official, at least buy American," which is a bad fucking ass saying. And he stares at Gary Roberts, the defense, and looks him in the face and slams that gun on the table. And like the trial's like stopping, but it is a cool scene for that guy. A balls to the wall, no nonsense,
balls to the wall
justice guy. And that's what Two-Face was. That's as villain, if you're going to write a story about him, because if they introduce him in the new Penguin series, that guy's going to be fucking terrifying.
I can't wait for the Penguin series,
because I think they'll set that up with a Two-Face in that show, because
cool.
He's a mobster, so he's going to have to deal with the law at one point, and Harvey Dent's going to have to come out of the woodwork.
Harvey Dent is the law,
or that racist Batman.
Harvey is the law, damn it.
Yeah, I'm the law. It's Kyle Urban from fucking The Boys. I'm the law, Judge Dredd.
But the movie is really just a big compilation piece of Joker fucks some shit up, Batman goes to look at it and goes, well, shit.
Yeah. Well, we find out because the way Gotham is, especially at the beginning of the movie, we see some guys, they see that fucking light outside. They're like, nah, not tonight, guys. And that's how the fear works, you know, because fear leads to hate.
Hate leads to anger. Anger leads to suffering.
Yeah. I'm going to make them fucking suffer.
I am Batman.
I'm Batman.
What's your favorite band, Batman?
Zach Brown Band. But we also see, after that fight scene in the parking lot, Christian Bale's taking some fucking hits. Bruce Wayne is hurt. This is the toll it's taking. And Alfred's like, maybe you want to take it easy. And Christian Bale's, being the bigger guy, just like, hey, we can't stop now. We're on the uptick, goddammit. And the movie is very fast paced for how it is.
It is
for very long. But we get a great scene where all the mob guys are on a round table, right?
Yep. I was making sure we were on track because, again, like you said, this does move fast paced. I was making sure we get the scenes in order. Yes, this is my favorite dialogue scene of the whole movie.
But we get our Russian mobster, Michael Jai White, who runs another mob outfit, Gary Roberts, and they're all sitting around. And there's the Asian businessman who is the guy that's on the up and up but takes mob money. Mm-hmm. And he argues saying, I can dodge extradition because my home country will not send me back to the United States. I can protect all your money. And then here comes the Joker.
Well, I don't really think
I don't trust the man in the box.
Yeah.
You want to trust him? And Michael Jai White is like, fuck this guy.
Just turns the TV off.
And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this clown. And I love the way his suit is. Mm-hmm. Like the way there's like it looks like a digiprint fabric, but he's sewn a fucking line in there, and it's a grenade. He's like, and I love that. That's so disrespectful. Mm-hmm. He's like, careful, you paid for it, and it's just like, oh god damn it, because he kills one of his guys immediately with a pencil.
That's my favorite bit. I quoted that so many times. Like, I would literally just hold up pencils and look at someone and be like, you want to see a magic trick?
Yeah, and he just jabs into the fucking table. And ta-da! And it's like, that's a solid opener for him. We got him in the beginning with Stranger, that one. But this is how calculated he is. He knew what he was going to do in the room. He knew who he was going to kill, and he knew how they were going to act.
Which, side note, strongest fucking pencil in the world to pierce a skull.
Oh yeah. Oh, he got him in the eye.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's like John Wick with a pencil. That's every time I think of that scene, I think of just John Wick, and it's just like I saw him kill a man with a pencil. Like, Jesus Christ! And then he kills the man with a pencil in John Wick 2.
It's a callback.
It's a callback, guys, and it's fucking fantastic. Don't give this guy any goddamn thing. But no, so we see that Yao, that was his guy's name. Yeah. Yao has left the country with the mob money to protect it.
And basically Joker's just like, your problem is my problem. The Batman is in the way. Yeah. You need my help.
We can kill him. He's a man. He's very solid on that point. Like, let's just kill him. Mm-hmm. And the mobster's like, we fucking tried, and we can't do it. And it's just like, I can.
Who are you? You just a freak in a clown mask.
I'm the perfect dude to do it. Then, but you're going to pay me to do it. That was the big thing. You can pay me to do it. And while that's happening,
when you're good at something, you never do it for free.
Yeah. And while we get to that point, Batman or Bruce Wayne, this is the part where he comes in. Decides he's no longer with old girl Rachel Maggie Gyllenhaal, but it turns out she's technically with Harvey Dent, and so he does the Bruce Wayne thing and takes them out to dinner, and it's over extravagant, and he's that drunk Bruce Wayne persona, kind of like the Clark Kent.
I'll buy the fucking hotel.
Yeah, he does, but it's the Clark Kent kind of like clumsy. Oh, I can't be Superman. I drop my fucking pencil all the time. I can't. I'd make all these terrible things. I wear glasses like an idiot. I did hear a premise for a Superman movie where the CIA or Clark Kent is writing a expose on the CIA. And they try to kill him, and they can't. And they're like, "Why can't we kill this meek reporter?" And it's because he's fucking Superman. But the whole movie is
CIA can't even figure it out.
Yeah, but the whole time is like Clark Kent can't be killed, and he releases the newspaper, and he gets all these guys arrested. Yeah. And I'm just like, that would be a fun Superman movie.
That honestly would.
But back to Batman.
Yeah, the Batman. Drunk Bruce Wayne and
he needs a lozenge. He needs a lozenge.
Rachel gives him the "How dare you?"
Well, he's trying to say, he's like, I would like to donate to your campaign as district attorney. He's like, I think you're doing the best. But he's kind of looking at Rachel. He's like, this is what I've always hoped for: the Batman not being needed, because that's his end goal, is to retire. And that's very altruistic of this kind of Batman. growing up, we've always seen Batman as the guy who just keeps doing it. But there's never an end goal that's really written out.
You just go until the body gives out.
You go until you can't go no more, and you hire Terry McGinnis.
And then you
pull a gun.
And then you don't give him a movie.
Yeah. Bastards. But yeah, so we find out that Lucius Fox helps him develop this idea to go get Yao from overseas, and we get Michael Caine involved. Alfred goes all the way out there to Singapore and tells the dude to his face, he's like, "No, you're working with some nefarious motherfuckers. We don't want to do business with you." And I love the callback. He's like, a phone call would have sufficed. And it's just like, yeah, I was going to call you. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
And we get this really cool scene of him kidnapping this dude.
Yes!
A hardcore scene where it's just like the power goes out in the building and you're in the middle of fucking Singapore and the cops are rushing the building. And he basically takes the dude hostage after he grabs his goons. And he does this is a real life thing, which is a giant balloon that goes up.
Yes.
And a fucking C-130 comes and grabs that motherfucker. It's called Skyhook. That is a real thing in real life that they use to get motherfuckers out of places, and it's fucking fascinating. But I was just thinking, can you imagine if that motherfucker came off like a few degrees to the left or something? They would have just bashed him through a building. Yeah. Like Street Fighter. Yeah. Jump around. But no, he catches this motherfucker and puts him on the courthouse fucking steps. That is the Batman way to do it. And that's right. You know, the Spider-Man does the same shit, but it's like a note on him. He's like, "Hey, I caught his ass." And now
you're welcome.
And now the mobsters are like, "Fuck, that clown was right," because he told him don't trust the man in the TV.
And he said the Batman was a problem. Yeah. He's right twice.
Yeah. So fast forward a little bit, Harvey Dent makes a deal with this guy. Now this guy is the most wanted man in Gotham. And now the mobsters is like, this guy needs to die.
Because Harvey's starting to kind of turn a little. He's having to get his hands a little dirtier than he wants to get this job done.
Yeah, so if you're dealing with bad guys, you got to do some bad shit to get rid of them. And he meets the Batman with Gordon. And Batman kind of gives that same thing as Bruce Wayne was like, no, we need to do it right the way you do it. But some of these guys aren't like regular guys. They're like me. And we kind of get this kind of weird tension where when you bring in guys like the Batman and Superman, the villains, the bad guys, have to get to that point. In the real world, in our world, the bad guys become more overpowered, and so the law has to adapt. A great version of this is gangsters in the 20s. They were heavily armed, had fast cars, had a network. So the cops had to get better weapons and communicate with each other to stop these. And that's why we have like the FBI. So in real life, you know, that's how it is.
Right.
But in this one, the villains get bigger because the Batman's too fucking hardcore. Like if I said...
He needs to chill.
Yeah, he needs to chill. Arnold Schwarzenegger needs to come back as Mr. Freeze.
Right.
Oh my God. If they do like a Deadpool version of DC... They need to bring back Uma Thurman, the other Bane, not Tom Hardy.
Well, see, they fucked it up. They could have done all that with Flashpoint.
Yeah.
But we saw what happened with that.
Yeah, it was a snuff film. It was the death of DC in front of me.
Yeah, basically.
They smothered it and made its kids watch.
Hopefully Joker 2 will bring it back.
Oh, God, it's just going to be a fucking musical. But anyway, they really kind of fast forward on how Batman's going to help stop these guys.
Yeah.
Because he's under the impression it's just mobsters. Okay. And then this one thing happens. There is a party for Harvey Dent.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Wayne's a little late. Of course, he's Bruce Wayne, no different than Clark Kent or Peter Parker. Can't keep a watch on.
Nope.
And the Joker drops in. I love this scene because Michael Caine said this is the first time he saw Heath Ledger in makeup, and he was terrified.
From what I understood, almost every like this was one of the early scenes shot. I think it was almost everyone on the set had yet to see Heath.
Like only a handful of makeup artists and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So even like the Rachel characters, like her reaction of just that, oh my God.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
But no, with But with Michael Caine, who's a seasoned actor, he's like, that guy really put the fear in me. Because the way he moved and the way he's one thing Heath Ledger did, he would shift his eyes where he's kind of looking right past you but still looking at you, and he's he kind of looks through you, which is a Jim Jones kind of tactic. Just let me look at you but not really look at you.
One of my favorite whoopsies they kept was actually in that. So while Joker's walking around giving his big soliloquy and whatnot, he tries to grab a glass of champagne off the rack
and pours most of it out.
Yeah, as he grabs it, most of it just goes flying out, and he tries to take a drink and just like puts it back on the tray. He was supposed to grab it and walk around kind of lazily, kind of like slinging the glass around, using it for effect. But they said by the time he grabbed it and it all sloshed out, he just and they just like rocked it anyway, and they're like, we didn't want to retake that. That was too real in the moment.
And so Bruce is out of the room, and I love we see like two characters on the side, two people like making out, and they're like, oh god, thank god you have a panic room, and they're trying to get themselves back in order, and he's gone, and he's just like, what the fuck? Where did he go? And then the Batman shows up.
Yeah,
and now we're getting to the chaos element now, and the Joker's just like, oh, you want to come in and start attacking some guys? Fine, let me take a hostage. And like, let me bring everything down a peg.
All right, well, if we're doing this, let me go.
And one of the chaos parts of the Joker is we don't know how he got his scars because he tells multiple stories. And that is the cool thing about what Christopher Nolan did. He took multiple aspects of different Jokers and different stories and embedded them in there to make the Joker more crazy.
Yes.
So
genius move.
One storyline was going to be that when they were pitching the Joker, how are we going to do this? Is like, oh no, he's a guy from Iraq who fought in Iraq and had PTSD and he cracked and came back. Or no, he's just an abused person who just finally cracked. His name is Willard White or Fred White or whatever. Or his name is this, his name is that. And Christopher Nolan just kind of stated, he's like, let's keep his real name a secret. Don't give him an origin story, but let's Easter egg some stuff in. So we'll talk about it later on what one of the Easter eggs is, but the fucking look on his face, he's looking Batman in the eyes and he's like, you shouldn't have said that, because he's let her go. Okay. And we get this cool scene where he's just diving down and just catches her and turns and uses his own body to crash the fall. Yeah. Which is fucking horrific.
Metal as fuck.
Yeah. That's where that Iron Man armor really comes into play.
Yeah.
And it's just like, god damn, my back hurts.
Where's our Batman Beyond movie?
Yeah. Who could play Terry McGinnis?
Honestly, if he was younger Hemsworth, I mean, not Hemsworth,
Tom Holland?
Chris, what's his nuts? Captain America.
Chris Evans.
Yeah. Evans when he was younger, Fantastic Four era.
Okay.
He's just cocky enough and hey bro enough to where he could have worked in.
I think
because Terry was hip. He was cool.
I think the guy that played the villain in Stranger Things season 2.
Oh yeah.
Old girl's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Billy. Because Billy's scary. Hey, who's that?
Not to the moms.
Not to the moms. Nah, Billy likes to have a nice cold Miller Genuine Draft, drive his car, pick up some pussy, and kick the fuck out of some kid. Cranky fucking hurricane.
Damn right, brother.
Hell yeah. I love the memes of him, of the TikTok stuff. It's like when the psychologist tells you have autism, you're just like, oh yeah, and it's like, here I am, coming out of the fucking Pontiac Sunfire.
And a few following scenes back on Batman is somehow Joker gets captured in that.
So what happens afterward? Some of his guys get captured first, and he has done this intentionally because he knows that Yao is in special custody with Gordon. The Joker needs some of his guys in there. So what he does is he lets some of them fall back. Before this happens, though, he finds Michael Jai White's character is like, I heard you put a bounty on me. But if you want to be part of my team, because he kills Michael Jai White first. there's a few of his boys left. He's like, we're going to have some tryouts. And he breaks a fucking pool cue and throws one in. He's like,
Yep.
Good luck.
Yep.
And whoever survives is on the team. But yeah, so one of the thugs that's in there has a cell phone sewn into him that is a syntax bomb. But we find out that during this process, one of Wayne Tech's people, Wayne Enterprises, finds out that some of the weird shit Wayne Enterprises bought is some shit that's in Batman that Batman's been using, and he decides to threaten to go to the cops or whatever. And some of the things that are happening that are in this movie, the Joker threatens the town, threatens the city. Give me the Batman, god damn it! And he hangs the dude, and he hangs one of the guys who was dressed as Batman, and he tortures them. One of the things for the advertisements. But I love Lucius Fox talking to the Wayne guy, the Wayne Enterprise guys. He's like, let me ask you something. You want to extort money from a billionaire who goes out at night himself and beats the dog shit out of hardened criminals, and you want to extort him for some fucking money? Good luck. And he leaves. And it's just like, oh no. What have I done? This is the dumbest thing I've ever done in my goddamn life. Am I going to die in this room?
Yes.
The Wayne Enterprise conference room just turns into a morgue. Oh my god!
This becomes an escape room.
But so Harvey Dent had previously said, I don't trust Gordon's guys, which he was rightfully to do so. But one of the things Joker does is gets one of his guys in that jail cell, and the guy's pleading. He's like, please help me. And the cop's like, back the fuck up, all this, all that. And it turns out they finally go in there and check on him. He's dead, but he has a parcel bomb inside of him.
Right.
It blows up, and the Joker waltzes in there and grabs Yao. That is fucking horrific, because this is a police station. This is kind of like Batman showing up at the police station in The Batman, talking to Gordon and be like, I'm going to punch you in the goddamn face real quick. Wham! And just fly off.
And I thought the scene in this one happened earlier where Gordon's talking shit to the Joker and everything, and he walks out, and then all of a sudden Batman's behind him and slams his head in the desk, and he's like, hello would have been nice.
Yeah, this is but that's where they get the Joker in there, because he's kidnapped Harvey Dent and Maggie Gyllenhaal. That's how they
okay,
get.
I thought that was earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
So they have a discussion, because he hangs that guy in a skyscraper, and he's demanding the Batman. Harvey Dent decides to say, I'm the Batman, in a press conference, because Bruce tells Rachel in a note, I'm going to save Harvey. I'm going to give myself up and to save the city so he can be the better guy. Full reversal.
Yep.
And we get the cool scene of the transfer truck getting chased down by the Batmobile.
Yes. And
we get the slide open of the transfer truck, and the Joker is just like willy-nilly using a fucking RPG, and he's like, I got him. Boom, boom, gone.
Yep.
And we find out that the Batmobile, if it crashes, the front separates, transforms into that fucking motorcycle with guns.
Fucking cool.
With guns. Guns. It has guns. It has big fucking guns on the front.
It's not there to kill people. It's just to get stuff out of the way.
Unless Catwoman's driving it.
And then they're to kill people.
She shoots a motherfucker with it.
Catwoman kills people.
Yeah, all the time. She's a bloody thief. But we get this cool thing where the truck is coming, and he's playing chicken with Batman. Come on, do it. Fucking do it. Let's do this. And he puts those hooks in the ground, zips around it, and then basically drives up the wall and spins around.
Yes.
And he's basically tethered this truck to the fucking ground, and it does this cool effect that is used in X-Men 3, where the truck goes boom, and they kind of perfected it because they could send the whole truck up in the air.
Yeah.
Cool fucking scene.
They loved using that in the trailers.
And it's all practical effects. No CGI. Yep. Very well done. The only time you see really practical effects is when they do like the like the helicopter and the little zip lines across the thing, and it gets caught in the helicopter and it blows up, because you can't blow up a helicopter in a city without CGI.
I mean, it'd be
Not
you
anymore.
can.
Not anymore.
You can. It's just illegal.
Yeah. But yeah, so we find out that so the Batman tries to play chicken with the Joker again. And I will say this, the Joker, as someone who likes guns, of course this madman would have a Nazi era machine gun, because that's what he's using, because he's telling him, come on, fucking hit me. Fucking hit me. And he's pop, 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 pop. And Batman's like, I can't do it. Skids off. And one of his guys goes to get the mask of Batman, which I love.
Yeah.
And he goes, zip! And like it just electrocutes the shit out of him. And the Joker's like fucking excited now. And then Gordon cock-clocks. Take that, you piece of shit. But with the explosion that happens with one of his guys, the Joker is now free.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point between threatening the city for Batman's life and them catching the Joker, and afterward, Harvey Dent has then been captured by corrupt cops, and Rachel's been captured by corrupt cops. And Gordon says, hey, we can't find them. And he's like, what the fuck do you mean we can't find them? These guys are the reason we did this whole fucking shtick. Mm-hmm. And Joker, because they're kind of celebrating that they captured him, he's clapping.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you think you've won, you stupid motherfuckers. And I love that scene so much, because they're doing
and that's why I was thinking about it. Yeah.
I love that scene so much, because they emptied his pockets, and they're like, he had like 12 knives on him, a gun, and a fucking potato peeler.
Yes.
Like, just for fucking whatnot. Because he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a legitimate crazy person. This is why I really love Batman above all other superheroes. All his villains are a small antithesis of him. Mm-hmm. Cobblepot, the Penguin, is a rich person who decided to do crime. Bruce Wayne's a rich person who decides to do justice. Two-Face believes in justice, but is black and white. No room for gray area. The Batman allows for gray area. The Riddler uses his intelligence to thieve and rob and kill. Batman uses intelligence for the law. All his villains are just a version of Bruce Wayne to the umpteenth degree, except for the Joker. And that's why he's able to get the best of Batman all the time, because no one knows what he's fucking thinking. Mm-hmm. You can't anticipate what he's going to do next.
Well, I think Joker is still the opposite of Batman, where it's like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like he's that's why he's the better villain of all the rest.
Oh, gotcha.
So Batman could defeat them very quickly, all the other ones, because they're on his level to a point. Like Victor Freeze, of all the Batman villains, is kind of justified in some of the stuff he does, because he's trying to save a human life. Mm-hmm. Batman would do the same, but he's not going to, because he doesn't have to. But he's used his intelligence to stop that guy. The Joker, though, as opposed to Bruce Wayne, who is a law and order, tactical detective, cannot stop someone who doesn't even know where they're going.
Yeah.
Dude, this dude is constantly rolling the dice and doesn't know where he's going, and that's why Batman can't really stop him all the time,
right?
Other than kicking him in the neck and breaking it. That's the only way to do it. And then you got to assume that there's another one walking around somewhere. You got to kill his bitch too.
There's always another.
You got to kill his wife too, just in case. Because I love the animated series, because Harley Quinn can capture Batman no problem.
Yeah.
Joker can't. And it's a fucking like, God damn it, woman.
Can't or doesn't?
That's an argument for the Terry McGinnis Batman. Because the Terry McGinnis Batman defeats the Joker very quickly, because he's just like mocking him the whole time, because he's a teenager. That's why the Joker killed Robin, probably because he mouthed off. He's like, your jokes suck, you piece of shit.
What?
Crack. Terry McGinnis called him. It's like, that's why Batman doesn't like you, because your jokes suck, you stupid fucking stand-up hack. And it's just like spitting on him. Yeah, you fucking suck, bro. Where was your last special, huh? Tubi? Oh, you son of a bitch.
Sorry, it was voodoo.
Oh, voodoo. What? Can't even land it on Apple TV, you stupid bitch.
And ain't nobody on there, not even the Apple fanboys.
Yeah. But no, so like, he does this elaborate thing to kill the guy he was supposed to. I will say this. He catches Yao. He kills Maggie Gyllenhaal. Wrecks Harvey Dent. And we're barely halfway through the movie. Mm-hmm. By the third act starts, That's the halfway point. And I love that he's got all that money from the mobsters sitting in a pile, and he's got that guy Yao on top of it, duct taped. And the mobster's like, what are you going to do with all this money? He's just like, money? I don't give a fuck about the money. Mm-hmm. And he burns the money with Yao on top of it in effigy. And I just love the mobster's face, like, what the fuck, you burning good money? He's like, it ain't about the money, motherfucker. It's about the job. It's about pride in your work.
I will say, I don't know what it's about these movies, but it really has the ability to like hit me in the emotions, because it's like, even though I knew Rachel's fate, I knew it was a big old turnaround, ruse to, get them in the wrong places. I knew that is always the case. Yet, every time when Batman busts open that door and sees Harvey, but hears her on the phone being like, it's okay, every time that still smacks me in the emotions, and I'm like, God damn, this sucks.
One thing we skipped over is how Gordon's able to come out of nowhere. The Joker decides to start killing off politicians before all this. Gordon is a target. And Gordon fakes his own death, and that's why he's able to get the drop on the Joker to begin with. And during this time, there is the funeral scene.
Yes.
In downtown. The Batman uses that super fucking forensic bullshit to find out, to put a bullet back together to get a fingerprint, which is goddamn impople.
Yep. Should have been burned the fuck off.
But they run it through VICAP or whatever, and Alfred says, it's owned by a guy named Melvin White, which is the real name of the Joker in one series of Batman comics. That's where Christopher Nolan pulls that name from.
That's cool.
And so we know that that's Melvin White Joker. Okay? And we find out this is a daytime scene, so it's Bruce Wayne that has to do all this shit.
And a paintless Joker.
Yeah. And we see the scar, like what it really looks like. Well, one of the guys, what we find out, this is how Harvey Dent got captured, is because after the gunshots go off, Harvey Dent grabs one of those henchmen and flips a coin to decide his fate. And the guy's literally fucking crazy. And that's that David Dumonchin character from Late Night with the Devil. And they some back end on this, they're like, how do you want me to play the scene? He wasn't even supposed to be in that scene. He was just going to be a stand-in actor. And Christopher Nolan's like, I want you to pretend to be crazy. How crazy you want me? And he did it perfectly. Yes. He did it perfectly because he flips that coin and he's sweating and smiling. And it's just like, we don't see Joker toxin gas, but there is like, he's hiring crazy people. He's hiring schizophrenics because you don't know where they're going, always on the ball. But we get the explosion scenes where we find out Batman went the wrong direction and saved Harvey Dent. He's horrifically burned, and Rachel thinks she's going to live, kinda, and she's trying to tell Harvey it's okay. We're fine. And she realizes, oh wait, he's not coming for me. And that's the heartbreaker.
Yeah.
But the people who did the effects art on Harvey Dent with the face,
amazing,
fucking fantastic.
Like, even on the recent rewatch I did, I took myself out of the movie to like look for it. I was looking for the CGI. I was looking for the line, the seam, the offness, something being weird. So fucking clean and superb, dude.
Oh yeah. And Aaron Eckhart he changes face a little bit. He does an about face where he's no longer Law and Order. He's about justice. There's a difference between Law and Order and justice. Justice is what you feel needs to be done. Law and Order are the rules in place, the codified rules. Both are not the same. O.J. Simpson dying of cancer is justice for him killing that woman and that waiter. The Law and Order, however, has failed justice, and he was free. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You can come at me. He fucking stabbed that bitch to death. He stabbed her.
Wow, what a hot take. So
you'd be surprised how hot of a take it is for some people.
Really?
Yeah, right there. But the Earth is flat. Well, the juice is loose. And the Joker's loose because one of the things he does after he gets out is he takes more hostages. And so now the Joker's loose. Batman's girl dies technically, and the guy he wants to save the city in the broad daylight kind of way is horrifically done. Like he presumably almost dead. Batman has failed. The system has failed. And this is what the Joker wants. That scene where he's in the police car driving, he's actually in the back seat. If you notice, he's holding the jaw of the guy, and he's just hanging out of the back seat window while it's swerving in and out. And I'm like, fuck, that's kind of horrific.
Yeah.
And so we get something I saw before the movie came out. WBTV had did a thing where they were talking about a particular scene, the hospital explosion.
Yes.
So going into that, the Joker's loose, and he decides to go take a piss and goes check out old Harvey Dent. Hey, buddy, how are you? And he is just fucking just burnt to shit.
I love the reveal when he says like, hey.
He's in drag. He's in nurse drag, and he's just fucking with them. And Harvey Dent's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. He's like, oh, and rightfully you should, but did I do this? Or maybe you should embrace a different kind of system. He's like, you know why? He's like, why didn't you kill me? Because you can't kill someone like me. You know, he's giving this elaborate fucking, like, simple. It's simple, but it's elaborate. And he's like, here you go. And gives him his coin, a double-headed coin, because Harvey said, I make my own luck. It's fucked up. And he puts the gun in Harvey's hand. He's like, I'm going to give the power to you, brother. Flip that coin if I decide, and you can decide whether I live or go.
And he's like pressing that gun up against his head.
And he's like, yeah, do it, because that's what he is. He's a fucking chaos agent. You know, that's what that is. And just someone who just lets it ride. And he turns him loose. He's like, because I'm not dead, I'm going to let you go out and go get your own kind of justice, because ain't no law in this world, man. It's
ain't
all
no law on the claw.
Ain't nothing real. It's just rules made by a governing ethnocentric body, and cops can't be trusted. I'm not saying you black bag of pig or anything, but I'm just saying go out there and be somebody. The laws are threats. It's a laws are threat argument. That's all it is. And so Harvey Dent's now missing, zipping through town. But the hospital explosion.
Yeah, another goof.
WBTV showed that on TV long before that movie came out. They're like, hey, the demolition for the new Christopher Nolan Batman movie, and we have video of it. And they showed it. I'm just like, holy shit, they're going to blow up a building, because that building was going to be destroyed anyway. And I'm just like, that is fucking hilarious that a news station would show a big act.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah,
and we're allowed to do so, and it is a fluke. He's pressing the button, nothing's happening. He shakes it, and he's like, "Well, I'll be fucked." Yeah, and he turns around. And it's like, "Oh, boom!" And we see a little. He's like, "Oh, I got it!"
And then the chain reaction hits the rest of the explosion.
But he acted that so perfectly. He's like, "Got it."
Yeah, I think the director was saying like they were looking at it, and like he was just about to like even look at the camera and be like, are we running this again? I thought this was a one-go thing.
Yeah, it's a one-go thing.
Yeah, I heard, what do we do here? And like right as that happens, like, oh shit!
I'll be goddamn. But yeah, it's a fantastic kind of pull, and it's improv. Mm-hmm. But there is some order to it.
Yes,
so
just like the wine glass, improv but order.
Yeah, but like let it right. It's kind of like it reminds me of the Django Unchained scene with Leonardo DiCaprio,
smashing his fist,
cutting his hand wide open, rubbing the blood on her face, and even Jamie Foxx is off camera looking at Quentin Tarantino like, "Are you gonna fucking stop this?" And Quentin Tarantino like, "Keep that motherfucking camera rolling. This is gold."
Oh yeah,
and it was.
Shut your fucking mouth.
It is. It's gold, and he's just like, fuck yeah, it was.
If he had a problem, he would have stopped already. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
But I was just like, even if you watch that, if you go back and watch Django Unchained, Christoph Waltz turns to what looks like Jamie Foxx. He's not. He's looking past Jamie Foxx like, that's real blood. I could smell it. He said he could smell the metal in the air. That's a lot of fucking blood.
Oh yeah.
And he's just picking flecks out of his hand and still didn't break character the whole fucking time.
Nope.
fantastic.
Probably fed his character.
Oh God,
Probably fed it.
Like Jamie Foxx said, he's like, there's only 3 people allowed to say the N-word. Him and Michael Rappaport and Charlie Sheen.
I still don't know why Charlie Sheen gets the pass.
Because he called Denise Richards the N-word. Because that's why. Spike Lee said it's okay. But anyway, so the Joker is now loose and he blows up a hospital. But it's a televised thing. I'm going to tell everybody. If no one tells me where to find the Batman, I'm going to blow up a fucking hospital in the city. Well, this is where Bruce Wayne has to step in. See, this is the cool thing about this movie. Is it's a lot of Bruce Wayne having to step in and do some shit. And we find out that little smarmy motherfucker from Wayne Enterprises is going to go on TV and tell everybody the real Batman. Mm-hmm. He's under protective custody by Gordon, and the whole city's rioting. Like, yeah, tell him who the fucking Batman is. We can't deal with this and shit. And the hospital's blown up, and he drives basically a Lamborghini into the fucking truck because this one guy that's in a pickup truck sees him and it sees the guy, and it's like, because the Joker says, I don't want to know who he is. That ruins the game.
Yep.
Kill this motherfucker though. Kill this little piggy. And like, can you imagine if like someone had took a city hostage and they told everybody in Charlotte, if you kill this one guy, I'll leave.
Uh-huh.
I'm a terrorist. I've been blowing shit up left and fucking right. They ain't gonna catch me. But if you imagine if they said that in somewhere like Charlotte, from Pineville to Monroe down to Southern Huntersville, how wild this city would get.
Nuts. This
is the plot of the movie The Running Man by Stephen King, but it's nationwide. You're hunting one man. Yeah. So it's fucking nuts. But no, Bruce Wayne saves his fucking ass.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have. He should have killed this motherfucker.
Fucking pig.
He's just a little smarmy little accountant. That's all he was. But that's another thing about this movie that's really fantastic. Is just Bruce Wayne really, like Christian Bale, playing both so well, and doing the whole drunk Bruce Wayne, but also turning the Batman part on very quickly, even out of the suit.
Yeah.
Well, we find out that Rachel kind of saw some stuff coming.
Wrote a little note.
And Michael Caine, after she died, decides to hide it. Alfred decides to hide it.
I think the only fuck up Alfred ever had in the whole series.
Yeah. Basically, it's a Dear John letter. Yeah. Basically. And he pulls it out at the third movie, which really sets that movie up a little well. And we come to kind of the tail end of our third act. Mm-hmm. We find out that one of the things Lucius Fox had been working on was a cell phone radar system where all the cell phones in one area could be turned on and create basically like a radar to 3D map out something. And Lucius Fox is basically like, I don't...
Fuck this thing.
And he's like, yeah, it's like some Patriot Act fucking bullshit. I don't trust this. You know, you're doing some really bad... It was good. We use it just enough to catch that guy. But what you're using it for is unethical on a broader spectrum. So this will be the last thing I make for you. And he leaves. But Bruce Wayne does leave him a note. You're right. This is a one-shot thing. Cut it off.
Yep.
You have the authority to do it, not me. Mm-hmm. You built it, and you built this machine, and you can turn this machine off. I will use it to catch this man, and if you feel I can't use it no more, that's up to you. So he put the responsibility into his hands, which is really what he should have done.
Right.
But no, he takes a fucking boatload of people hostage.
Yeah, two of them.
So they're evacuating the city, and it's two ferries, one with criminals, one with citizens. This is where we get a cameo from the guy that played Debo from Friday. This guy, fantastic actor. And we don't really... He's kind of a no-name character.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about him. And the Batman comes in, and he's like... The hostages are the ones with guns. They've duct taped them. They can't move. And it's the guys on the ground pretending to be hostages that are the bad guys. So the cops are going to end up shooting a lot of innocent people.
Mm-hmm. And that part is intense as they're figuring it out.
And before all this, Harvey Dent's going around town killing cops and shit. He kills Gary Roberts, the Falcone. He kills Falcone. He flips a coin for the driver. He lost. blew his fucking brains out,
Yep.
and walked out of the fucking car. Killed the cop in a bar.
Yep.
Because he's like, why did you do it? My mom's in the hospital. Was in one of them hospitals. That's why I did it. Flip a coin, took a drink, and if you notice, this is where the CGI is. When Harvey Dent takes a drink, you could see the liquor go down the gullet a little bit, and you could tell that's pain.
Yeah.
They had to emote
That
pain
hurts.
on the side of it because it's raw flesh. It is fucking just wild.
It really, again, it holds up so well for it
does.
being a movie made a little while ago.
Yeah. And this is why people love it so much. It's a fantastic superhero movie. And Batman uses the radar thing, ends up kicking the shit out of a bunch of cops.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, we're under the gun.
Batman went full ACAB.
Yeah. We're under the gun, though, when it comes to the decision. There's a bomb on both ships. And the Joker is like, they're going to press one. I gave the power in their hands. Mm-hmm. But Debo from Friday
No.
grabs the trigger, and says, we've all made our decisions. I'm taking it from you. And he throws the trigger out the window. The civilians, however, take a vote. And it comes to like a dead tie because no one can really make that decision about execution, killing someone.
Exactly.
That's a hard thing to do. But that one guy's like, why are we not pressing the fucking trigger? He's like, and then someone chimes up, they haven't pressed theirs. And it's this idea, this kind of novel idea of like civic civility, the society civility that doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
Because in real life, someone is going to choose themselves over another person.
Oh, yeah.
We see it kind of all the time in a grand spectrum, but like the little times we don't. We see the kind of opposite. This is where we get people like, help someone that's homeless, or help a friend out, or help someone that's down and out. That's social civic responsibility. This is kind of just a game with it, though.
Yeah.
This is a horrific comic book. But Batman and the Joker go toe to toe.
Great fight.
And he saves the Joker from jumping.
Hanging upside down, still.
And he's looking at Batman in the face. He's like, we're the same, goddammit. We really are. And then we get to the tail end of the third act where we have to hunt down Harvey Dent. Because now he's taken Gordon's family hostage. And what I liked about this, Christopher Nolan kind of did it smart. He made his children, he had 2 kids, a girl and a boy. He made it to where the kids would have been too young to be active in the Batman storyline later on. Because everybody knows Batgirl is Gordon's daughter.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have played out that way because that's not what Christopher Nolan wanted. He did not want a Robin story. We get the inference of one in the third movie, which we'll talk about next week.
Yeah.
But they did it so well that it hides, and it's not active. It's not an active story. It could be like, pressed on down the road.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I kind of liked when I saw the movie. I'm like, where's Barbara Gordon?
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's still a child. Good. Like, we don't need to bring that storyline into this Batman.
This universe.
Do it into another one down the road. Like, I could see them doing that. And, like, if Robert Pattinson is still going to play Batman, I don't know if they said anything about it. But, like, if he was to do 3 movies, let's bring her in the third movie. That would be fantastic. Because you burnt the last Batgirl movie. They destroyed the last Batgirl movie that was supposed to be good.
That just disappeared.
Yeah, along with that Looney Tunes movie. A lot of shit just keeps disappearing from the WB.
Gee, I wonder.
Maybe if Disney was to kill one of the brothers and take the other one hostage, maybe they'd start putting out decent content. Who knows?
Well, Disney's not doing that hot either, so
No.
we can't say shit.
Don't worry, Google will buy them all. And Amazon will fight them to the tooth and nail to whoever colonizes the moon first. But that's a different conversation. It's different conversations. But we see Harvey Dent at his limit, And he's like, fair. He's like, I want something that's fair. And he decides to flip the coin. Batman catches him, bam, kills him. Which I loved. I love that they killed Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing about the movie was Harvey Dent was supposed to replace Batman as the face of law and order and justice. and he turned heel. And now that whole reputation, that face of Harvey Dent and not Two-Face is destroyed through vengeance, through vigilantism. And Gordon is just like, what are we going to do? And he's like, tell him I killed him. Make it look like the Batman went rogue and killed the face of justice because it's what needs to happen.
And I love when he's saying that. He's literally being chased in like a maze of like those shipping containers.
Yeah, and so all of Gotham, and Gordon goes along with it, reluctantly goes along with it. He's like, it's high noon for Batman. Catch on sight.
Yep.
And they destroy the bat signal, which was a big part of the trailer. And everybody's like, why are they doing it? Oh my God. Like the trailer alone was we see the Joker, we see transfer trucks exploding, we see just shit getting fucked up. And then why is the Batman on the run? Why does it look like the Batman's being chased by cops? Why is the bat signal being destroyed? What is the Joker doing to the city? That built up the trailer so much. And then when we finally got what we got, it was fitting. It fit perfectly.
It was satisfying.
Yeah. And then Christopher Nolan says, hey, great guys.
That's it.
Hope you guys enjoy my Batman movies. And then like a few weeks later, they're like, the studio wants to make another one.
That you made us a lot of money.
A shit ton of...
This is more money.
This is one of the first like $1 billion ones, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the first $1 billion.
They basically sat him down, was just like, look, you did something we've not seen before.
Print money.
Fuck your opinions. Let's make some dough.
Yeah. And the third one gets
make some Batman dough.
And I will say the third one gets a lot of hate, and we'll talk about it. But I love the third one. The third one's fun.
I love it too.
Tom Hardy did a fantastic job.
I don't know why everyone hates on him.
It's his voice. He does a weird voice.
He does, but
I will say they use that voice in the Harley Quinn show, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, I'm Bane, but they treat him like this like Jerry character. It's just like, shut up, Bane.
Hell yeah.
He's just like, stop bullying me. And it's just the Joker and Penguin being like, this fucking sad sack is still talking.
That's not nice. No.
I made some dumplings. And he's like at this little plate. And it's just like, because he's so massive.
Yeah.
But they let him keep the voice in the animated series. It's fucking hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the Batman.
Well, honestly, again, as we've said a few times, definitely my favorite of the different Batman series that have come out. At some point, I don't know what's, I'm sure Max has it, but I wonder if they have the animated show in order.
Probably, I imagine so. Because there was Batman, the animated series, then Batman and Robin, the animated series. And then you had Batman Beyond, which tied into the Justice League. Which I will say, Justice League Unlimited, their finale is the best ending to the Batman animated and Batman Beyond series. It's perfect. If everybody gets a chance to watch it, it's the true, how they really wanted to do Terry McGinnis. It's how they wanted to do Bruce Wayne. And God damn it, it was Amanda Waller, the bitch herself, telling it too. Like, this bitch has been keeping secrets for decades. And she's just like, Terry, let me tell you where you really are. Yeah. That's why I really want a Batman Beyond movie, is because that story on a cartoon show did more at bookending a series than any goddamn movie has ever done.
Well, if folks are interested, I'm totally down for doing like what we did with King of the Hill and stuff like that. Do a season rewatch of Beyond and the animated series. Yeah. So if folks are interested in hearing that, I think I've watched like maybe 6 or 7 episodes of the original animated series.
Yeah, we could do a watch along with Phantasm.
Ooh, that's the one that kicked it off for me, man. Yeah. That's the shit. I've still got that on tape
somewhere. That plays into Terry McGinnis' story.
Mm-hmm. But this has been another fantastic episode of the Couch Potatoes, and if you want some merch, click the link in the episode description, sign up for the Discord, chat along with us, give us some suggestions, tell us how much we're fucking up, and make sure you're clicking on that YouTube link and watching our Fistful of Quarters episodes out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Episodes are going to get longer, trust me. I actually did get that one thing. They were like, the episodes are short. All right, well, we'll do longer episodes. If you're actually liking it, we'll
fine, I'll do a 32-hour playthrough of Fallout 4.
Twist his fucking arm.
Oh, my God. It's all sediment building.
But make sure you keep supporting it. Show us you like it, because that's the only way we know to keep doing the thing. Otherwise, we're going to pivot and try other new shit. But for this episode of the Couch Potatoes, I've been Alex and Chris. Do you have any sort of final thoughts for us?
Can you imagine the shit fuck voice they would have gave Robin in this movie? I'm Batman. Hi, I'm Robin. How y'all?
You've been listening to the Something Good Network. If you liked what you heard, you can follow us on Instagram and check out the other great shows on the network. Link is in the episode description.